Hello, and thank you for attending today's live demo. We have Brett Kerhofer, lead solutions engineer, here to show you a tour of our powerful platform. So without further ado, Brett, take it away.
All right. Thank you, Hireology Marketing. Good to be here. We are at our monthly walkthrough of the Hireology platform. So let me go ahead and share my screen and we will get started. If you have questions, things you want to see in more detail, feel free to throw it in the chat there. We can always go through a Q&A section at the end. But typically, when we go through these demos, I like to start with highlighting ways that Hireology helps get applicants in the door because we do that in a few different ways. Way number one is connecting to major job boards out there. So when you post a role in Hireology, what we're going to automatically do is connect that to the leading job boards, names like Indeed, ZipRecruiter, Google for Jobs, Glassdoor, there's Lenza, Talent.com, CareerJet, Jubal, Jobcase. Always make it easy to connect to a company's Facebook business page and LinkedIn business page as well to leverage that social sharing. The idea here is that when you log into Hireology, you have one centralized place to post a job. It goes out and hits all those job boards. No matter where someone finds you, they apply, and all their information is sent back directly here. Another way we help get applicants in the door is helping companies with their employer branding. So really taking that careers page, putting a bunch of great content behind it, making it easy for applicants to apply. And what I'm going to show you is an example of a career site that we built for one of our current customers, Phillips Chevrolet. So if I were to go to their website and click on careers, I am taken to this dedicated landing page all about the opportunities coming to work for them and why I, as an applicant, should be excited to come work at one of their locations. If I scroll in here, I can see content that's provided by the team, videos, descriptions of who they are. They talk about and they highlight, work that they have done in the community. They can talk about growth opportunities at Phillips Chevrolet and awards and recognition they have received over the years. I love what they do here. They highlight the Decade Club. If you've been there for 10 years, they put you on this website here and kind of spotlight your tenure at the organization. Benefits, not hidden somewhere within a job description. They're highlighted here on this front page. They do employee spotlights, like I mentioned, and career pathing. This is super important. If I come in at an entry level role, what can my career be with you 5 years, 10 years down the road? If I come in as an entry level sales development person, can I move into a sales rep role? Can I be leading a team? We can document that and give people a career path and hide that for our applicants on this page. Then, of course, I can see a list of all my careers. So if I want to click into one of these roles as a job seeker, I can see the job description, scroll down, and the application is right here. You can make this as short or as long as you want. What we are always going to preach is the shorter, the better, right? Let's not make the barrier to apply super high. We want to make it easy for applicants to apply, make it short and sweet. We can leverage some automation on the back end to help them qualify it automatically, but let's get them in the door. And what's great about this career site is 50% of applicants will look at a company's website before deciding to apply. So we want to help you do everything you can to say, hey, if you're in a job search and you're considering a bunch of different organizations, here's who we are, here's what we can offer you besides just a paycheck when you come work for us, and here's why you should be excited about choosing us as your employer of choice. All right, we've got connections to job boards. We can post to your company's career site. Once we have applicants in the door, let's go ahead and jump in and navigate the hiring process inside Hireology. First and foremost, I can see my action center, which is helping me understand across all the locations, departments, and jobs that I have, where is my time best spent? Where does my team maybe need help? Where can my hiring managers be more efficient in their hiring process? That's what this is meant to help you answer. If I click into all the jobs, I can sort these a couple different ways. I see the job, I see where it's at, I can see a list of applicants, a list of candidates. So getting a good idea on pipeline, who the hiring manager is, when the job was last opened. If I need to sort it by, just show me my service positions. Throw that filter on, apply it, and now it's just filtering that. Or you know what, just show me what's going on at the West location. Really easy to see that here and apply those filters. Another piece here that we have already pinned jobs. So jobs that are super important, super critical that maybe you're always hiring for, you have an immediate need for, or that are just tough to fill. You can always go ahead and pin those jobs. And now when you log in and click pin jobs, they are front and center, easy for you to access. You can quickly get to the most important roles at your organization. Couple other tiles to call out here. We have any jobs that might need approval. So think about a rec approval process. Any jobs that have low applicant flow or no hires made. So do we post a role and we're not getting the volume that we need? Or we post a role and we're just not seeing people get pulled through. If so, we can help you identify that. That way you can jump in, ping the hiring manager, understand what's going on. We don't want you to have to search through the entire app to find that problem. We're going to help you find that problem proactively and notify you about it right away. Perhaps the most important of these tiles, though, is this delayed time to review. You can click in and say, you know what? Let me set my filters to show me any jobs that have one or more applicants that have not been reviewed within 2 days, right? Is my team reviewing people quickly? I can go ahead and do that. Save changes. And now I have a list of everybody that has jobs open where they have people applying to their jobs, but it's taken them longer than 24 hours to review them, which is a problem. And so I'm going to pick on Phil in this example here. Phil is our hiring manager. He has been complaining to me that it's tough to hire for service techs. Maybe he's asking me for more budget to go spend on job boards because he wants to get more applicant flow. But when I log in, I can actually see that Phil has 6 unreviewed applicants for that position. So what I can do is just simply select that person, select that job rather, go ahead to recent activity and ping Phil about this. At Phil, look at these people now. I can ping him, he can get notified, he knows where he needs to spend time, can go in and take action quicker. So again, this action center is meant to help you understand what's going on across all the jobs, across all locations, hiring managers, departments, and know where your team needs to spend more time and be more optimized. Now let's turn our attention to walking through the process. So if I'm in my jobs tab, I can quickly, again, see a list of all the open roles that my team is working on. And if I click into, let's say, the business development representative role here, I can click in and I can easily see a list of all the applicants that have applied with all their information in one place. I can see their name, the date in which they applied, the source. So did they apply from Indeed? Did they apply from ZipRecruiter? Was the career site? Where did they come from? I can also leverage this quick pre-screen survey and sort people accordingly. This is a short, simple survey that gets sent out immediately when someone applies, basically thanking them for their application and letting them know that you're going to reach out to them, but they want to get to know you a little bit better. And this is something that can be customized down to the location and the role level to say, hey, here are the qualifications that we need and that we're looking for this job. Have them complete the survey and spit out a score 0 to 100 to help us understand how qualified this person is for that position. The idea is that as a recruiter or even a hiring manager, maybe I don't need to review every single applicant that comes in. I go to my applicants page, I can sort the applicants highest to lowest by the survey score and only focus my time on the most qualified people. People that are unqualified or scored low, I can just simply select their name, click decline, and say, you know what, this person didn't meet the minimum requirements and move them out. That way, I'm not wasting time reviewing people who ultimately are not a good fit. I can easily review the resume, the cover letter, basic application information as well. Now, down here on the right, I have some internal tools around feedback and qualifications for the applicants. So I can go ahead and score them on a 1 to 5 star basis. If I'm working with a hiring manager, I can score them. They can come in, see my feedback, and do it that way. I can leave comments. Showed up late to interview. Any comments I can do? I showed you the tagging function. But what I want to call it here specifically is this tag function. So I can see that Mary Jane applied via Indeed, scored 80% on the survey, which is great. But when we talked to her, it turns out she was only available to work weekends. Well, unfortunately, this is not a weekend shift. So I have got to go ahead and decline her. But if she reaches out again in the future, or if we actually open a weekend shift, I'd love to be able to reach back out to her. So I'm going to note that she was interested in working weekends before I decline her. Now, let's say we fast forward 6 months and we are opening this role, but it's a weekend shift. What I can do is check my candidate database. Essentially, before the job goes live on the job boards, let me see who lives in my candidate database that might be worth me reaching out to again and asking them to come back in for a conversation. And it's as easy as clicking into your candidate database, reset those filters, and say, show me a list of anybody that's applied anytime that meets the tag of wanting to work weekends. I can apply those filters. And now I've got a list of 35 people here that I know are qualified. I know meet the exact criteria for this role because I've tagged them appropriately. And all I have to do is just select their name, add them to that job, and then from there, send out a mass text, send out a mass email, see if they want to come back in for a conversation. All right, again, on this applicants page, I want to decline people because they're not the right fit or move them forward, indicating that they're qualified and I want to engage with them in the process. And once I do advance somebody, they're going to then live in this candidates page here. Once I'm in here, I can begin my hiring process. And you can see the steps here left to right. This can be customized down to the location, again, down to the role level. So you can customize it really any way you want, but you're going to list out here the steps that somebody's going to go through in order to get hired at your organization. What I want to do first, though, is cover some communication tools that we have built into Hireology. Now, we have candidate communication for both email and text built in. And if I want to go ahead and just, text or email Raven, I can click the text button and say, hey, love to have you in for a conversation. Same thing for email. Just click email, write whatever message you want right here. Or what most people do is just leverage a template to make their lives easier. Let's inquire about their availability and send this out. I can also do this in bulk. So if I want to text or email everybody on this list, I simply select their name, click SMS, and say, hey, let's inquire about availability and send this out. So you can do one-off texting and email, bulk texting and email directly out of the system. But Hireology also does offer automation when it comes to candidate engagement as well. So if I pop into my automations tab, you can see here that at multiple times in the candidate experience, we can turn on automations to have the system proactively send out the message that we want. Example number one is text and or email somebody immediately when they apply, right? Be the first person to reach out with them, get in touch right away. This one's also a good one. Automation based around if for some reason your team hasn't reviewed them in a timely manner. We know that hiring managers can get busy. Sometimes things slip through the cracks and they forget to reach out to people. It happens. Or, maybe a holiday is coming up or some PTO is coming up and you're not going to be in front of the computer for a couple of days. The system can be proactive in letting people know what's going on in the process by leveraging some automated texting and emailing. And you can say automatically text people if for some reason they have been reviewed within 2 days. And in doing so, we're really catering to the candidate experience, making sure that they're not feeling potentially ghosted by an employer and staying in touch with them in the desired cadence that they want. Now, once we're done moving them forward, we're communicating with them. We probably want to go ahead and schedule either a phone screen, an in-person interview, whatever your process is. Hireology has a built-in automated calendar scheduling tool for interviews. So we can connect to major calendar providers like Microsoft, Google, iCal. And if I want to go ahead and set up an interview for Monica here, all I have to do is click into the interview that I want to schedule. From there, go ahead and send my availability. I can say this is going to be a phone screen. It's going to be for 30 minutes. It's going to be for Heather, or I can send it for somebody else. So I can send my calendar. I can also send a calendar on behalf of a hiring manager too. How far can they book out? 7 to 14 days, 1 to 14 days, whatever it might be. and just create the invite. From there, the candidate gets the invite saying, hey, I'd love to have you in for a conversation. Here's a link to my calendar. If you've ever used a calendar scheduling tool, which I assume most people have today, they just simply put their information in and the interview is booked automatically. So it's very easy for candidates to do this because it's an automated process. They just get the link and they get to choose a time that's best for them. But for recruiters and hiring managers, they're not having to chase people down, call them, get into a long email thread about trying to align on times. You just say, hey, here's my calendar. I'd love to talk to you. When can you come in? And so we see tools like this on average decrease the time to offer by 30% for users who use this tool. The cherry on top is some more automation based around the confirming and reminding of that interview. So if you want to say, hey, send them a reminder automatically, 24 hours by text and email, you can do that. You can automate that reminder process and customize it really any way you want. Now, once the interview has been scheduled and it's time for you to go ahead and perform that interview, Hireology does offer customizable interview guides built into the platform. You can ask whatever set of questions you want. We have a database if you want to choose from those. You can always go ahead and upload your own. But you basically ask this person the set of questions as you're reviewing them and as you're interviewing them. And then depending on how they respond relative to what you're looking for, you simply score them poor, okay, good, or excellent. You can take notes on individual questions. You can take notes on this notepad here to the left-hand side, but it's going to give you an overall rating 0 to 100 on how qualified this person is for the role based on your feedback. This just allows your team to make sure that applicants are being graded and assessed consistently, fairly, and it's across all locations, right? Nobody's asking a different set of questions over here compared to this location. It's driving consistency in evaluating talent. That way it's fair and equitable. All right, now that we are done interviewing somebody, Hireology also offers some verification tools in the form of automated reference checks, some testing options that we have, and background checks. Happy to dig into that if you have questions. But one other thing I want to call out here on this process is Hireology's offer letter. If I click into here, what customers do most of the time is they will send us their onboarding templates. Sorry, rather their offer letter templates. We can upload that in here. That way I can say, you know what, send them that basic offer letter template. You can see the vast majority of it gets pulled in. A couple of things I need to put in, which I can do over here on the left-hand side. So I'll go ahead and update the start date. Let's say as the 30th. I can adjust the pay rate to be 50,000 per year. You can see that gets pulled in right here. How often we want to pay them, semi-monthly, create the offer. And so new hires can go ahead and electronically review and sign off on offer letters built and created directly inside Hireology. All right, that's the view of the hiring process. Before we end today's demo, I want to make sure we spend a good amount of time covering Hireology's reporting tool, which is essentially taking the 30,000 zoomed out view of your hiring process, understanding what's working well, and where opportunities lie to be better. So let's go ahead and dive in. What you're going to see is that we break our reporting out into a couple different categories, some based around speed, so hiring velocity, some based around sourcing performance and where applicants are moving through the channels. What I'll cover first here is the hiring velocity tab. Now, on all of these, you can go ahead and customize this data a lot of different ways. I can adjust the date range really any way I want. I can choose to view this data by location, by department, by hiring manager, by job, maybe customize it by city, state, disposition code. You can see here we have a lot of options. And this helps our multi-location operators view and customize data literally on the fly, right? I'm overseeing in this example 4 different locations. So if I just care what's going on at my south location, I can say, you know what, just show me this for the south location, refresh it, and now this information is going to be specific just to that location again, or that department, or that hiring manager, whatever it might be. Very easy to customize this data really any way you want. And so I can see Right now, I've got a 0.7 day time to review, which is great. We're reviewing applicants quickly and we're beating the industry average. We can help you benchmark against the industry average to know that this is either a competitive advantage for you or an opportunity for you to be better. And we can actually help you track trend lines over time as well. Is this KPI in a good spot? Is it getting better or hopefully not getting worse? So we'll track things like time to review, percentage of applicants being reviewed. So of everybody that's applied, what percentage of the applicants are you reviewing on a consistent basis? And then time to hire as well. So from application to hire date, how quickly do they move through this entire process? Now, what's great about these dashboards is there's a sense that Hireology can be proactive in letting you know when issues arrive. As a user, you can always log in, find this information, and comb through it yourself. But the example I want to give is, let's say our time to review right now, it's less than a day, which is great. But if it ever gets above, let's say 2 days, that's a problem, and I need to be notified about it. I don't want to ever see it go past 2 days. So what I can do is click on this little alert symbol and say anytime the average review becomes greater than 2 days, send me an email. I gotta know about it right away. And so now the system is being proactive and letting you know when issues arrive in your hiring process. You don't have to wait to go find that issue yourself. You'll be notified right away, and it reduces the time it takes you to find issues and resolve them in your hiring process. We can, of course, customize and send this data to you on a desired cadence. So if you say, hey, I want this whole dashboard sent to me every Monday morning at 6 a.m., I want to start my week by reviewing my hiring metrics, we can easily do that. Simply go over here and schedule a delivery and say, hey, you want this every single week on Monday at 6 a.m. Throw your email in there. And now this whole dashboard will be sent to you on the desired cadence that you'd want. Additionally, you can look at this data by location too. I showed you how you can drill in and create that dashboard specific to that location. Here's where you can compare locations side by side. So how are our locations doing when it comes to reviewing applicants? How are they doing when it comes to how long it takes to review them? So time to review, I can see in this example, east, south, north are all doing really well. They're about a day or less. But it's the west location that's actually dragging down our average because it's taking us more than 2 days to review somebody at this location. And that's a problem. I know across all my orgs, the west location is the one that needs help. I can also look at things like time to hire too. Then we can dig into totals. So seeing, of all the applicants I get, where are they coming from? What's our applicant flow like? We can help you understand trends over time. So applicant volume, how are we trending? Applicants by department. Of all the applicants that we have, what's the breakout that we're receiving by department? We can do this with candidates, which are qualified people. We can also go ahead and do this with hires. We can also give you information on why you're losing people. If people are being declined, what's the reason for that? Is there a consistent theme that we're seeing? And if we step in and make a change, can we see this reduce over time? It's always good to be able to go ahead and track why we're losing people by disposition code. Funnel, this is going to help you understand of all the applicants you get in a certain cohort, how many convert all the way down the funnel. So I can see here, I got 3,450 applicants. I reviewed 98% of them, which is pretty good. I got 798 qualified people, which is a quality rate of 23%. And I ended up hiring 55 people of that cohort, which is a 2% conversion rate. So taking a group of applicants and understanding how they progress through the hiring process, through the funnel, we can give that data and visibility, and then also look at conversion rates by department. What departments are doing really well? What departments are maybe struggling or are behind? Should we review the process there? Should we review the comp? Should we review the job description and what we're offering? We can help you identify where that problem is specifically broken down by department. And then, of course, sourcing performance, which really helps us understand of all the sources that we're pulling from, what's actually working and driving results. I can see that I got 3,439 applicants, and I can give you the total broken out by source here. But what drives the most applicants doesn't always necessarily drive the most hires. So yes, it's good to understand where applicants are coming from, but where are the hires coming from? And is there a correlation there? More importantly, what's the conversion rate? If I have recruitment dollars to go spend on job boards, I want to know what job board is proven to drive the highest ROI on that spend. Here's where we can give you the intelligence you need to understand where that dollar is best maximized from an ROI perspective when you look at all the channels that you're posting out to. And of course, looking at job role hires by source. So, hey, I hired a sales consultant here. We got two people hired from Indeed Organic, two people hired from Indeed Sponsored. One came from the career site, two came from internal, and nine came from other, which is perhaps an internal referral. So understanding the job role hires by source as well. And then the last thing I'll touch on is just user activity, which is basically saying, hey, how is my team using the platform? Is there an opportunity for us to be better? We're going to be able to give you a breakdown of hiring managers, how many people they have in each stage, applicants, candidates, interviews, hires, declines. All that good information is going to load here for you to take a look. You can even dig into things like texts being sent. I had somebody that said, "Hey, it's tough for me to get in touch with people because no one responds to my emails." And I look in here and I'm seeing that they're just not using the texting function. Well, it's no wonder that they're not getting in touch with you. You're not leveraging texting. And what we know to be true is that's the best way to get in touch with people and do it quickly. So I know as an owner, as a manager, that my team's opportunity to leverage the system better lies with them using this texting feature more. So again, when we look at user activity, it's going to give you a good understanding of how your team is leveraging the platform and help you pinpoint opportunities for you to use the system better. All right, that is the high-level overview of Hireology. What you saw today is everything included in our Essentials package. Hireology also does offer a few things in our professional package, mainly new hire onboarding, an integrated employee referral management tool. We can offer some background checks, reference checks, and testing as well. So if you have questions, want to learn more, by all means, let us know. But at this time, I'll turn it back to the audience here. If there are any questions, feel free to let us know, and we can answer those now.
All right, Brett, it looks like we don't have any questions at the moment. So thank you for attending today's product demo, and feel free to reach out to us at info@hireology.com should you have any other questions. Thank you.
Thanks. See you soon.